Hello once again. Let's start with today's afternoon first session. I will try to introduce you to, let's say so, open defense system. First one is 3-to-1 defense, and the second one is 5-1. Let's say so, open 5-1. Now I will start with 3-to-1 defense, which was years ago a famous defense, also on the top level. Many clubs, especially from this Balkanian area, use it, and there were many excellent top-level teams which master very good 3-to-1 defense. There were teams which won also Champions League or win also Olympic game finals using this defense. So, as I said, it was once very famous, but during the years lost a little bit its power, its force, due to the fact that attacks adapt a little bit to this type of defense. Normally, the opponents try to find the right weapon, how to destruct this kind of defense. That is the first thing, and the second is that many different countries strong in handball didn't want to accept it. So it means that also the players from this area, for example, if they would be acceptable for the German league, Spanish league, for example, or for I don't know, Scandinavia and so on, if they want to play the handball there, they should know a little bit more about the 6-0 defense, 5-1 defense, and so on. And normally also the coaches during these years forget a little bit the power of this defense. Forget especially the very particular operations which the players must done. That the 3-to-1 zone defense would be efficient enough. While it is a very complex movement patterns and task patterns, distribution of tasks, which is very hard to compare with other zone defense systems. So I would like to introduce some of them. Perhaps one more information. I don't know, perhaps it was some 8-10 years ago when I was a lecturer on the seminar on Slovakia with Peter together. I have the same task to introduce to listeners the 3-to-1 defense, and the demonstration team were a Slovakian team. And unfortunately, they really didn't know nothing about the 3-to-1 defense. And it was also for me as a lecturer very difficult to demonstrate all these things with them. So I hope that today with this team, they claim that they play 3-to-1 defense, that it will be a little bit easier to explain some moving patterns and operations of the players in this defense. Perhaps one more information. In spite of that this zone defense lose a little bit its power. German Handball Federation put the knowledge of this 3-to-1 defense in the junior teams model. So the junior teams in their handball federation should master this kind of defense, in spite of the fact that normally they will play in their career 6-0 defense or 5-1, for example. But for many reasons they choose this defense system as very important, especially to develop the special skills of defenders. So it is very actual even now. That's why we also will present it today. Now, first of all, the positions of the defenders. Now we have, let's say so, 3 rows. It is a 3 rows defense. It means that we have 3 players beside the goalkeeper's line, goalkeeper's area line. First from left, let's say so, first left, first right player, then central back player, which is usually key player of the defense. It is the first row. Then the second row, there are, let's say so, half players, or second player, let's say so, second right, second left player, and the player who is in front of everybody is a central, front center. Front, so it means three different rows. Now the action of these three players normally are executed along the goalkeeper's area line. They normally, in their normal acting, don't leave this place into the depth of the playground, so they remain here. Now the half players are moving in a so-called triangle to the line and in the depth of the playground, the same on this side. And the front center, the same. He moves toward the line. Halves or second players can reach this area here along the goalkeeper's area, but this player regularly he remains a little bit far from the goalkeeper's area line, even if he also makes these movements as a triangle movements. Now the position of the pivot is also here very important, but it is the only case that the position of the pivot, it is only defense where the position of the pivot doesn't influence the position of the central back. It is influenced only on the position of the ball. So what does it mean? If the ball is here, normally this player, first player, going to the position to cover this player should move a little bit near to the line. Front center will go a little bit beside him. This player, okay. Okay. Dobro. This player should move here, and the central back should move here. It doesn't matter where is the pivot. Pivot should be here. So in this very example, he will cover, or here he will be with him normally, but he will also stay here. In this moment, he loses the control over the pivot. So he's not directly responsible for the pivot. It depends on the situation. I will try to explain it a little more after that. So it means when this player make a pistol movement, pass the ball to the left back player. Now this player, from this very position, move, as we explained before, toward him on 9 to 10 meters. So it is the limit in the depth, how far he went out to this player. Okay, now this player move a little bit to cover his back, first player. The central back move a little bit in this direction, again to cover his back. And this player, from this very position, make a step forward. But he give also the security to help him if there will be, if the left back will win 1 against 1 against the second player, half player. Okay? Now, central back is here, and we, as normally in 3-1, the shape of this defense is as, let's say so, 3 angle. Okay? It is almost always so. In the basic position, first player, second player, when the ball is here, the same, when the ball is here, the same, and normally on all other positions. Okay? Now, when this player passes the ball, I will move all, I will use another. The ball is here. Now, normally central back is behind his back. Once again, so he moved from this position here. Okay. It was the pass to him. Now he moved here. Okay. And this second player must go, as we explained before, back to the line. First player, second player, not so far, 1 meter apart, for example. Then the same is here, here. Okay. Now once again we gain the triangle, as we said before. The ball to the next player, this player out, center back here, and once again, independent of the position of the pivot, center back is not directly responsible for the pivot. So, for example, in 5-1 defense, you very commonly see that the center back remain on the side where is the pivot. Okay? Now in the 3-1 defense, it's not the case. So the center back always move along the line. Okay, now it is first basic information about this defense. Now let's go further. The system, how each other can help of the players. Now, the problem, one of the most exposed problems of this defense is that the density of the players are weak. So there are a great space between the players. There is no density. In 6-0, all of the players are along the 6-meter line, so there is no such great gaps, such great space between the players. Here, the place between the pairs are quite great. So it makes opportunity to attackers to make an advantage with one-to-one play. It is very important that the players very good master, defenders in this defense, very good master one-to-one play. Okay, it is very important also for 6-0, 5-1 and so on, but here even more, while there is very difficult to get help. But in spite of that, we have to have a system of help. Who will help each other when, for example, one of the players lose one-to-one game to his opponent. Now, wing. If the wing loses, the second player should help. It is also possible the first player, it could be a choice. In that case, this player have opportunity to act a little bit earlier toward the back player. So we can choose one or another situation. Especially it is tricky when here is a pivot. So in this case, it is preferable that also this player try to help a little bit to prevent the play toward the center. Okay. Now, if the ball is here, now here is one-to-one left back and the half player or second right player. Now, if he look normally the task of the player and also the position guard of the defender is, if he is second player from the right side, should be diagonal, and it is presumed that he shouldn't lose one-to-one into the line. So he shouldn't lose this one-to-one game to the line in the narrow of the playground. He must defend his space to the line. It is forbidden to lose that. Well, if he forbidden that, then there is really so much space that it is difficult to defend. So his first task is not to lose one-to-one here, okay? Not to lose also one-to-one toward the center, normally. But if you lose one-to-one, the only thing which is allowed is that you lose it toward the center. Okay? Now in this case, the first player is responsible to help. Now it must be made by good sense. Normally he's first a little bit, as we said before, here. Now if he loses that, he will help him. That's all. Now, if you make a pass further, and this front center is a little bit late, and he loses one-to-one against the center back player, the half player is responsible to help him once again. And finally, if he loses this one-to-one against this player, first player should go out. And it is the only occasion when the first player go out from the 6-meter line. The only case. Now, the role of the center half is that follow all this, and intervene only in the situation when everybody lose their one-to-one play. So in this situation, he's responsible to prevent the shoot, or at least to make a smaller angle for a wing player. That is so. Normally independent of the big position. So he could be called as a libero. In the normal 5-1 defense, center back could act also in the depth of the playground. Here there is not such case. So center back is really responsible for the pivot. When the pivot is in the position of the ball, okay? Now if the right back player has the ball and pivot is here, normally now he's covered by the center back player. Okay? But if not, if he's here, once again, independent of that, the center defender is in the space where is the ball. Okay? Now it is, let's say, so that are the basic principles how this defense can act. If the line player act only behind the backs of the players. Now, one of the possibilities, one of the most dangerous action of the defenders, which are commonly used to break down the 3-1 defense, is a block. A block on a half or front player. So these three players are exposed to the blocks. Okay? Now, where is the problem of all this? The problem is that if the left back players in this case use this blockade to take an advantage of this, now normally in normal defense systems, what would happen? What would happen? The player here will follow him, and then they will make 2 against 2. But it's too dangerous. For 3-1 defense, it's not good. Even if, okay, sometimes we can perform also this, but normally we should avoid that. It is a great advantage. No, if we play on the line 2 against 2, block, and it is even in that case, in a small place, 2 against 2, pivot and back player, it's dangerous. But now imagine here. How can I follow? How can this player, half player, follow the pivot on the line? It is a huge space. If he deliberates himself to the line, he has incredible great space, and there is nobody who can help him. There is nobody. Front center is out. This player is is too far to help him, so there is no help. So by experiences, it is much better that in this case, and this is the most tricky situation, this player try to avoid the blockade, and if he avoid a blockade and won that attempt to make a block, and remain in the position to act against this player, the team won everything. Without this action of the center back player. So he must remain here, as we told before, as a corrector or as a libero. Now if he lose here, the front center should help once again, and then normally after this help there is no danger on the line. While even if he go back, here is the center back who will prevent his action. So there is no free space here, or no too big free space. Okay. Now the same apply here when is the block here or here. So it's almost the same situation on every position. So for years this blockade on the half players was used as the most common weapon to break the defense, especially while, as I told you, many center back players sometimes went out and leave too much space behind him, and with developing, as Peter, for example, presented well in the morning, with the developing of the pivot skills. Now it was quite impossible if the pivot on the 9-meter line after the block turned to the defense. It's impossible to make anything against him. So in this case, normally then this tactic of the center back is wrong. Okay, no, so it means, first of all, teach the player how to avoid a blockade, or don't leave that you are blockade. You have to avoid. There are different techniques and tactics how to avoid a blockade. That's the first thing. Then be sure that your back is covered, but there is center half. Okay, and if you occasionally lose your battle, then there is the front center who will help you. That is the task of the half player when he is blocked. Okay. Now, so far, I think until now, I think that there's no great questions. Or if you have something, just.
What the libero? What he does there? I don't understand.
He stay on the line. Yeah, of course. He stay on the line. Now, perhaps it's far too easy that I say he only observed the situation. No, he act. He can also warn the player. He must warn the player. He must warn the player, but he don't leave the position. Okay, I will try to show you that after that. He only control. Now, if this player, once again, if this player lose the one-to-one in the center, then the front center is responsible to help. If he lose here his center is always here. So he's as corrector. And the second player make everything to avoid the blockade and to remain in a good position and to act against this player. Now it also depends on the types of the players. Types of the players. Now if you have, for example, now perhaps we should make a step back. Namely, it is also very important which players play on each position. Also the strategy here is much different than when we construct 5-1 or 6-0 defense. In normal theory of 3-1 defense, these players in the second row and in the first row are the wing players. So in this case it should be right wing. Here it should be a pivot player, and here a left wing. So, as we know from the morphological point of view, these players are, pivot perhaps, pivot. If we take this into consideration, let's say, so perhaps the best team which regularly use this defense on the large competitions, it is the Croatia, for example. Okay, here is front center is pivot again, but he is 2 meters 3 tall, so he's very tall. It is somehow change, for example, from 72 Olympic Games when the 3-1 defense became famous, when the pivot players were small, that is so small. Now they became tall. 20-25 centimeters on average, they are taller than 30 years ago, approximately. Okay, then wing players. Okay, wing players more or less remain not so tall. 85, 90 is it's okay. There are some exceptions, but more or less they are 85, 80, 85, 90 is the highest. So these players, from the morphological point of view, are not able to cope with the very tall pivot. Okay, this one yes, but this two no. So their only possibility is to be what? To be very movable, faster, more fast. So to act and what's that is only the sense of this defense. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So these two players must act into depth, avoid the blockade, be so faster of the very high, sometimes also very not so fast back players, and to try to do something with them. Otherwise, there is no need to act in the depth of the playground. So no, okay, perhaps we should also talk about the center back. Center back is many times specialist. It could be, I don't know, left back, center back. The last very good center back which I appreciate very much was Dominikovic, for example, from the Croatian team, which mastered very good, but he was very weak in attack. Okay, he was a left back player, but he was weak as attacker. He was weak, but he was very, let's say so. He mastered his role very good. We can say so. And as I told you before, he never go out. And it was good for him. If he should act as Dinar in the 5-1 defense, he won't be successful. Believe me, it is quite. I'm quite sure in that. So normally, as I told you before, the center back remain on the line, in front of the line. Okay, now I hope that almost all of these basic principles are clear. Now, the step forward. Normally, attack teams adapt themselves the kind of defense. They normally, during the years, they recognize that with the classical play, which is suitable against 6-0, 5-1 defense, it's difficult to break down this defense. Well, it's impossible to shoot from the distance. Distance shooter won't be successful against this defense. And it is also the purpose of this defense. We're not allowed to shoot from the distance. Normally, now it's a simplified statement. So now they suddenly recognize that the normal play, crossing, for example, then changing the position among the back players, is inefficient. They won't gain any advantage. Every time these players follow them and faster them, make a foul, make a tricky situation, they force them to shoot from the bad positions and so on. So it was clear that the classical attack against this defense is not efficient. So normally attack develop a special attacking tactic with two pivots. Independent, if it is only run in and then immediately conclusion of the attack, or we put the second pivot and then continue playing to break down the defense. And it's really, this defense is really faced the problems when the attacking team switch on attack with two pivots, two back players, two wings, or with three back players and only one wing. Okay, regarding this, it's also very important how to put the first pivot. But it's not so important in this moment. When the attacking team switch in this kind of attack with two pivots, two back players and two wings, normally there is let's say so, one of the players remain without a certain defender who is responsible to him. Normally, in any zone defense system, we have in initial position, for any attacker is responsible, we say so counting the players. So first player is responsible for the wing player, second player for the back player, central front from the central back, and so on and so on. But in this case, front center lose the direct opponent. Okay, it changed a complete tactic of the defense. And here the 3-1 defense really became complicated. If they want to stay or to remain in the 3-1 position, they should the players should make very complicated movements, actions, and they should collaborate it really very well to prevent all the dangers from the attacking team. Now, where is the most exposed problem? The most exposed problem is when the one pivot is in this position, so he attracts the center back player. They are here. The ball is here. Both back players should go a little bit nearer to each other, so they couldn't remain on the same position, in the wide position, as they are when we have three back players. They must go a little bit nearer to each other. Now in this position, when he make a penetration, here is the central back, here is the second player who should cover in this moment the pivot when he's in a wide position. And this player, center front, who remained without the direct opponent, he must go back to the line, but not completely back to the line. Let's say so 7-8 meters from the goal. and he should first cover this player. Okay, when he loses 1-to-1, or when, for example, this player go completely to the center, and to prevent the direct pass to the pivot, diagonal pivot player. That's why it's also very important that this player is very tall. And for example, in Croatian national team, Vori is a really good example. While with his hands, he can very good prevent this direct pass to this player. Now, this player is covered by second players and a little bit also with the first player. Both players should take care about the second pivot. Why? When this player make a pass, so he didn't gain any advantage, he make a pass to the right back, then this player should immediately run toward him to be enough depth, enough aggressive toward him. Otherwise, once again, the most important power of the 3-to-1 we lose if we lose the aggressiveness of the defenders. In this moment, this player should take care a little bit for this player. Now, as I told you before, but if in this moment this player make a movement toward the 7-meter line, this player cannot follow him, so he loses the possibility to cover this player. Now it is then normally outcome of this action depends on the abilities of the players to recognize that and to react well, especially with this player. So he's also, I can say, very important in these situations. Now, just a moment. I will try once again. Okay, now we have a pivot in the central back and a pivot here. Once again, it is first pivot and the second pivot who comes here. And now if the ball go on the other side, as I told you, this player lose his possibility, if he follow this player, to go out toward the right back player. But as I told you before, this player should go a little bit back toward the line, but not too much. But not too much. Why? Well, in the case that this player, okay, I wrote it a little bit too much. This player will avoid and go to the center. His task is to prevent his penetration here. So it is not a 4-2 defense. It is a great difference. The 3-1 defense should, in the original, in a good, when it is executed in well, when it's well executed, then it should, 3-1 defense should remain in the 3-1 positions. So it means that this player cover this space, independent that on the line are two line players. I don't know if that is understandable enough or not. Just ask if there is something which is not understandable enough. So in this moment, this player should go back as fast as possible. He must recognize immediately that this player will escape and he will go to the center. Go back, cover this player, normally also with the help of this player. He will go out, prevent this, okay, now, and all the other actions. A lot of work. Really a lot of work in the tactical and also energetical, from the tactical and from energetical point of view. Then, if we said that the central back that for the center back is forbidden to go from the line, it's valid even more when there are two pivots. Why? Because then really occur such great space that it's impossible to cover. So in all these cases, the center back must remain on the line. It is forbidden to leave this place. Okay, now I hope that we elaborated almost all these situations, but now in a practical part we will continue with perhaps it will be also a little bit more clear when we will show everything on the playground. But if there is something which you want to ask, don't hesitate. We can discuss about that freely, no problems. That's why we are here. So everything is clear. It's not every time. So the collaboration among the defenders in 3-to-1 defense, especially when the attacking team switch to the attack with two pivots, is very complex and demand a lot of effort from the players. Okay, for the final explanation of this, we made on our faculty an experiment. We measured the load and effort. So how many meters run the players when they play 3-to-1s. I will simplify it a little bit, okay? When they play 3-to-1 defense or when they play 6-0 defense, and how it influences on their effort, how it's the response of the body on this. No, it is a great difference. It is a great difference. In the 3-to-1 defense, you could, if you perform it well, you could remain 15 minutes. After that, you should change or players or the system. Otherwise, the players are not anymore able to fulfill all the requirements. Impossible. In 6-0, no problems. Even if they play open, aggressive, and so on, but there are more time to rest. Especially for the wing players. Well, wing players are the most exposed to the load. Why they act here, very important role, extremely important role, and after that they should run. Okay, the only rest is a little bit in the attack, perhaps, but after that, once again, so for them, the load is really very high. So just for conclusion of this part. Yes, 1-to-1. Okay, pop. Okay, yes. Also very good work with the hands. Now I must say that it is obviously that they know how to play 3-to-1. Very good. Right? Okay, just a moment. Perhaps, okay, you can go also a little bit if you, ako se osjećaš dovoljno dobar, možeš ići malo van iz linije, ne tako da ga zaustavljaš prije, inače ne treba puno. Ne? Dobro? It's obviously immediately that they master very good the basic movement, the basic pattern, how this defense work. So okay, now we will try. We should continue. Just go on. Okay, super, very nice. Hop, very good. Now. Excellent. Hop. Izlaz iz bloka, to je to, evo. Super. Bravo, super. Odlično. Very good. the great action of the player. He win 1 against 1, interrupt the attack. This is the main aim, objective. As soon as possible, when the second pivot arrived, we must make a foul. We must interrupt the match, the game. Okay? What is now? Now they have to move out once again to execute the new meter and so on and so on. Once again, just continue. Yes. What? Where is the center? Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Very good. Nice. Nice. Prednji centar, nemoj tako gubiš pozicijo. Ti si tu. Bilo ko je dođe tu, on je tvoj. Ti možeš da se vraćaš, da recimo da zaustaviš, ne? Ali kad on dolazi na sredinu, on je tvoj. Obavezno. I sve se sledi. Okay, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Very good. Be aggressive. Okay, very good. Very good. Prvi igrači probate više napraviti kada su pivoti široko. Nek šutne krilo. Once again. But try to make more passes. More passes in Yeah, very good. Very nice. Oh, very nice. Okay. Okay, once again. Now it's the implementation of this defense is strongly connected with the ability of the goalkeepers. Every team which successfully perform this kind of defense should have a goalkeeper who is especially good from the wing shots, pivot shots, breakthrough shots. So in these situations, 1-to-1. So everything here is 1-to-1. Well, it is almost impossible that prevent 100% of these chances. But if the attack really do a lot and then gain the possibility to shot and the goalkeeper save it, it is the best possible best collaboration between the defense and the goalkeeper. So it means that once again all the good teams which perform this defense have also a special goalkeepers who were very dominant in the playing one against one. Just continue. Once again, continue. Do it once again. Okay, very good. I want to say the load, if you want to really to play it well, the load of the players, especially both second players or half players and center back and front center are really on a high level. So they have to run a lot, to make many actions, so they can maintain this level of the effort for some time. After that, as I said, we should change our players or we should change the defensive system. Once again, make it once again. Okay, very good. Oh, very good. Very nice. Very nice movements. Oh, excellent. Excellent. One, oh. Yes, very good. Oh, very good. Oh, center. Now it's your task. Okay, I know you are tired, but it's your task. Immediately. Now no. Where is the problem? Okay, my friend here is tired a little bit while he make a great job. Now he normally start to calculate. What does it mean, start to calculate? Now, at the beginning, he was able to move, just go out, make 1-1. In the beginning, He was really okay, just go here. He was always here, no problems. Now, as the most actions was toward there, he tried to go, okay, now he will go there. Okay, and now he will go there, nobody were there. Okay, and also first player should make a little bit more.